So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not had the opportunity to go and check out the first season of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who on Disney Plus, at least here in America, I'd recommend you go and do so. I honestly enjoyed it. When I saw the trailer for the first episode, which was the church on Ruby Road, I honestly had my hesitations because I didn't know what to expect. Without a shadow of a doubt, the new Doctor Who series definitely has an agenda with trying to be inclusive with the LGBTQ plus community. With that being said, after I actually sat down and watched the first episode of Doctor Who, The Church on Ruby Road, I genuinely enjoyed it. I loved the musical number that they did in the episode. I also loved Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson's chemistry together, and looked forward to seeing what his first season as Doctor Who had in store. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about some of the things that I really liked about Ncuti's first season as the Doctor. Number one, which I think is the most important, I liked how Ncuti Gatwa presented himself as the Doctor. The way he presented himself, his mannerisms, his personality, I really did genuinely feel like he was a doctor. I think the reason why he was able to portray the Doctor so well is because since Ncuti Gatwa himself is such a unique personality, for him to behave in a way like the Doctor wasn't a huge difference. I think he was genuinely born to play this character, and I genuinely thought he instantly was better than Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. No disrespect to her, I just didn't really like the way that they portrayed her during her time as the Doctor in Doctor Who. Ncuti from the beginning, from his introduction with the bi-generation because of David Tennant, coming back and basically passing the baton to him in a way where it felt like the best Doctor, the one that brought the series back to its prominence. Yes, I know Christopher Eccleston was the one that reinitiated it, but he was only there for one series, and it was really under David Tennant that the series took off. So for him to come back and pass the baton to Ncuti just felt so right, which leads me to number two. I loved the introduction of the bi-generation because we technically now have two doctors in the universe, even though I know Moffat has said that there is only one doctor and David Tennant isn't coming back. That's bullshit. We know that towards the end of Ncuti's Doctor Who, we're probably going to see David Tennant come back in the iconic role. Maybe for an anniversary special, maybe for a holiday special, but I can almost damn near guarantee you we're going to see David Tennant and Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor on the screen again one more time. So the third thing I really enjoyed about this Doctor Who season was how it really goes back to its origins, back to the original Doctor Who series that we saw from the 1960s all the way up until the early 90s, before it went on its hiatus until 2005. A lot of Easter eggs, and it really tied the entire Doctor Who story together. We got a villain that hadn't been seen in years. Also, the theme of this season was gods, and we got to see the Toy Maker make a return in the holiday specials with David Tennant's Doctor. And then ultimately that led to the introduction of Ncuti. Again, it really went back and tied everything together. So for me, I really thought Moffat did a really good job with this season of Doctor Who. And number four, ladies and gentlemen, I also loved Millie Gibson as the new Doctor's companion for this season. I believe the chemistry that Millie and Ncuti both had was incredible. It's a shame that we're only going to get them for one season together, but Ruby Sunday to be this Doctor's first companion, really, it made you feel like it was going back to the days of Billie Piper and David Tennant, not in the romantic aspect of things, but it felt like, okay, we got a companion that fits very well with this Doctor. They're best friends, they're going on these crazy adventures, and they get along so well. I really enjoyed their time together, and hopefully we get some more Ruby Sunday down the road. Get it? Ruby Road? Ruby Sunday down the road? I know, I cracked myself up.
Guys, have you heard? Nelson, tell the people.
Shady Mob Productions is an official affiliate of HBO Max. Click on the link in the description and sign up so you can watch hit series like Hard Knocks, Game of Thrones, and House of Dragons.
Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
So I'm actually going to change the first thing that I did not like about this season of Doctor Who, and I don't know why it blew, like I forgot about it. I fucking hated the sonic screwdriver. That's a remote fucking control. Like, a sonic screwdriver, if anything, was used as a wand for most cases. It's not a gun. It is not a gun. I understand what Moffat was trying to do, but come on. The sonic screwdriver is iconic. And you turned it into a fucking remote control? Really? Ugh. I don't know how I forgot about this. I was gonna say I didn't like how Shooty got super emotional at the end, where he was a little bit extra when he was acting out his emotions. But after rewatching it like 3 or 4 times, it kind of grows on you. So I'm changing it to the sonic screwdriver because I genuinely forgot about it. And now looking back at it, oh my fucking god, it was give me a normal sonic screwdriver. That's all I want. That's all I want. Please. Please. I need a remote control. Moving on to number 2, ladies and gentlemen. The second thing I hated the most about this season was how after everything culminated at the end, Ruby's mother was just a normal human being. That pissed me off so fucking much. That whole buildup, I would have loved it if they would have made Susan Foreman Ruby's mom, or if at some point we got Susan Foreman back in this whole storyline. Maybe we will later on down the road. But for me, that was one of the biggest letdowns because it makes no sense if her mom and dad are both normal human beings. That makes Ruby a normal human being. It ultimately makes no sense for her to be able to have snow occur when she's feeling some sort of way. I feel like they really missed the ball. They were building up for Susan Foreman. I was really hoping we might get Susan Foreman back, but it ultimately was just what it was. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, all of this just for that? That's just the way I felt personally, ladies and gentlemen. Last but not least, what I hated the most about this series, whether it be season 1 on Disney Plus or series 14, if you're continuing off the rebooted continuation of Doctor Who that started in 2005, since Peter Capaldi's 10th series as Doctor Who, they have cut back on the episodes, and series 13 and this series were both 9 episodes. That's 2 episodes less than what we had in series 12 and 11. I feel like they could have done more if they had had 4 or 5 more episodes to add to the story. We can never get enough of Doctor Who, and frankly, I feel like not having a full 14 episode series or even a 10 episode series, you can do a lot with 10 episodes. You can flesh out a story much more, which I believe is the right thing to do. But 9 seems to be the new norm for a lot of TV shows and series. And I feel like a lot of stories get lost where they just don't do a good job storytelling because they're just trying to speed up the story. If that is the case, then we shouldn't get a lot of filler episodes or filler moments. And sometimes that does end up happening, even in a 9 episode season. That frankly was one of the things that was my biggest issue with this series of Doctor Who. Just having 9 episodes, I would have preferred it at least be 10, maybe 12 episodes. But that was my third biggest gripe that I had with this Doctor Who series. Overall, this season for me was a 3 out of 5. I genuinely enjoyed this season of Doctor Who. I love the Doctor and his companion Ruby Sunday. I love how Ncuti Gatwa presented himself, but there were times where I felt like emotions were being forced. I did feel like an agenda was being pushed, but I think it is a great watch if you have kids. Go and watch this series. It does an excellent job talking about inclusivity and diversity, and again, clearly there was an agenda being pushed. Again, 3 out of 5 stars. Go check it out. I would have preferred it to be longer, ladies and gentlemen. But if you haven't, go check out the latest season of Doctor Who on Disney Plus here in America. In Europe, it might be on the BBC or something else. If you want to check out the other seasons of Doctor Who, sign up for a subscription to HBO Max. Click on the link in the description and go check out Doctor Who seasons 1 through 13, I believe, from 2005 up until last year on HBO Max. Sign up. I recommend it. Moving on to a trailer reaction.